Hey y'all, this is Joe from St. Bernard Acres, sitting here in Wheeling at the mini homestead. Pretty important video I got to do here, and as a warning to a lot of people who are thinking about doing this, planning on it. There's some things that you absolutely have to do, because because watching videos of all the other people, that are doing it and asking questions and everything, a lot of times you get lulled into a false sense of security, and you're not as diligent as you should be in your research and figuring out what all it is you're supposed to do. And unfortunately, I fell into that trap. You guys know I had that 12 by 32 building delivered and set up, and I was working on the inside to turn that into our tiny house. And I haven't been, doing much on it lately because I've got to run into a snag. I was doing some research on rain catchment, and come to find out, Ohio has the strictest regulations and codes for rain catchment systems that's going to be used for potable water. And it goes for rain catchment or cisterns that you're having water hauled to. It's classified right along with wells. As far as testing goes, you have to get a permit for it. You have to design it according to their specs with the roof washer and a 10-gallon first flush diverter. And I mean, it's good. I'm not complaining about that, because if I'm going to be drinking this water or cooking with this water, I want to, I would at least like to know it's being done properly. And they give you designs on how it's got to be set up, which is good in its own self, I guess. So I'm, getting ready to start on that, because I was going out within the next couple of weeks and putting up gutters and setting it up. Then I called the health department to talk to them about to get a permit and talk about a septic system, as far as, getting a legal septic system installed. And he wanted to know the size of the house, how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, things like that, so they could size properly. And I told him that, one bedroom, one bathroom, 2 adults, that was all that was ever going to be using it. And the house was going to be less than 400 square feet. It's like 368 square feet. So he's telling me it'll be real simple septic, 1 tank, small leach field, and everything will be fine. And he said, have you talked to the building department about the size of your house? And I said, well, not yet. I got a permit. We had to get a permit to put the cabin out there. That was $10, He said, well, you might want to give them a call before you start digging your septic system. And I was like, okay. So I called the building department. And everybody I've talked to, mind you, I'm telling them, I'm building a 400 square foot tiny house and blah, blah, blah. Everybody's like, oh, that's a great idea. We want to do that when we're old and retired, and, everybody needs to be downsizing and blah. It was all casual. Well, when I call the building department and tell them I'm actually doing it now, guess what? Here come the codes. Here come the restrictions. And I got all this paperwork, and one of the things that I have to abide by that I didn't know, but I'm learning, And you guys need to learn this before you get started, so you don't wind up in the shape I'm in with what I have to do. I mean, it's all good. I mean, I just have to, rethink things. There we go. Here's some stuff. Permanent dwellings. Permanent dwellings shall be restricted to the specifications of HUD-approved sectional homes, the Ohio Basic Building Code on modular homes, setting upon either a crawl space or a basement, and new constructed site-built homes. Any homes will be new at the time of placement and built with new materials. End of story. Any mobile home placed on said property shall not be over 10 years of age and shall contain a minimum of 900 square feet and shall be underskirted at the time of placement. I go on down. Before occupancy of any house or mobile home, a sewage disposal system shall be installed in conformity with the minimum standards required by the County Board of Health. Before any construction takes place, purchaser must contact the local government authority to make sure they are in compliance with the local laws. I kind of did that, but that was just in general. This is, I didn't submit a formal plan. It wasn't anything formal. I didn't think it was going to be necessary because so many people are doing it, and I see a lot of homes out in the area as we travel around it. I don't get out with a tape measure, but my site's good enough to know there are less than 600 square foot homes out there. Well, they were grandfathered in when all these new statutes took effect. Let's get down here to where it's any residence erected shall be at least 900 square feet of indoor heated area, excluding basement and garage, and shall have a finished siding such as rustic wood, frame, brick, veneer, press board, stuff like that. And it goes on to say it has to be set back a minimum of 75 feet from any government road. These are the things. They're not going to approve my house. I'm not going to be able to get a septic and electric installed. Now, what I have out there, what I've got working, is perfectly fine for what they call a seasonal house or, a camp. If I was just going to use it like on weekends or something, that will be fine. But as far as living in it full time and that becoming our dwelling, that's a no-go. So once again, I tell you, research. Ask questions and ask detailed questions when you're talking to your county or your township. I mean, these are township rules and county rules and state rules, and they all differ. But in talking with my neighbor over there, who is a home builder, he was like, I'm going to tell you one of the reasons why they do it. To build the cabin out there, to put that building out there, my permit was $10. My taxes go up a little bit because of it. He said, now, go pull a permit for a 900 square foot home. See what happens to your taxes once you have a 900 square foot home sometime. And they want permits on everything because that's how they know improvements have been made. You have to get the permit, then they know to add that to the tax records. so that you can be taxed more. That's one of the problems, one of the reasons why they are doing this. They're realizing how much money they're losing on people building tiny homes. They're losing too much money, so they're trying to stop it. But, like I said, research. Find out what is allowed and what is required in your area. Don't just look on the internet at what the state says, because it states in here also that if the state codes conflict with the county codes or conflict with the township codes or requirements, whichever is the stricter shall prevail. So you have to look at all of them. And I can't stress it enough. My situation, with all the work I've done inside that little house right now, I have to go in there. I'm having the building, selling it back to the people we bought it from. They get my windows that I put in it because I can't take those out. All of my framing on the inside, all the electric that I've run, and all of that I'm taking out of it. They don't have a problem with that. But I can't, take out my windows. So all the work I've done in it, I've lost. And I think in mine and Gail's situation, the route I'm going to take now is we aren't moving out there for 3 years. We're not retiring for 3 years, so we can't live out there full time regardless. So I think what we're going to wind up doing, and in fact I'm sure of it, in 3 years, this house here I will sell. Now fortunately we own this outright, so what I sell it for is cash in my pocket. We will take the money from this house and just purchase a 14 by 70 single wide mobile home, have the septic done for it, have the well drilled, and have the trailer set on a pad out there. Donnie come out and build a pad for me when he's doing the septic and everything. So it's all done at one time. At 60 years old, well, I'm 59, but, and I would love more than anything else to build my own place. That's something I would love to do, but I'm not sure I want to do that. Because it's pretty back-breaking work, and it's hard work to build your own. And it would cost too much to buy the material or to pay to have a stick-built house, built for me. Where we can look at a, 5 or 6 year old used mobile home. I mean, the way they're built these days are great. And the good thing about them is they don't hold their value. I mean, new ones are $50,000 and $60,000, but a 5-year-old one you can get for $20,000 or $25,000, and that will be fine for just the two of us. So we're going to go that route, and we've decided we're going out this weekend, and we're going to pick a spot. I have all the material out there that I was going to be using that I'm not going to need anymore. For actually building our house. So what I'm going to do is pick a spot out there, and I'm going to build a 12 by 16 cabin, which I originally wanted to do. It's just a small cabin without, kitchen or anything, basically a bedroom. When people visit, once we're moving out there, when people visit, it'll have a little bit of it'll be a rustic, primitive type cabin. And then Gail and I can use it during the 3 years of, waiting for retirement. When we're out there for the weekends, we'll still have a place to stay. And I'm going to use all that material to build one of those. That's small enough. I can build that one on my own and not really worry about it. So I'll do a whole video thing on building a cabin and building it the right way, uh, building it with new material. I'm not going to try to scrounge stuff up, but I'm going to make it my little cabin in the woods. Put a fence around it for when we go out there with the dogs. And it'll just be a small place off in the woods of the property, not open where, we're going to put the mobile home right where our tiny house is right now. When they come and take it, they said it takes about a month. So I won't lose too much money on it. I'll lose a lot of time that I put into it, a lot of sweat that I put into it, but we won't lose a bunch of money over it. And I'm glad I caught it now, because 3 or 4 years after we moved into it, maybe somebody'd show up and say, hey, you got to vacate this property, it's not legal. Because I tried to explain to them, I was going to, after we moved out there, add another whole piece onto it. And they said, you can't move into it until that's added on. And it's like, what's the point? I just can't do that. And so I think, the best way to go about it is, like I said, when I sell this, take the cash, go buy a single wide, have it parked out there, hooked up, and we're good to go. We're on with life. And then I have, the air conditioning done, heating's done, all the everything is done that I was going to have to do. It's all going to be there for us. And I don't have kids that are going to tear it up. It's just going to be Gail and me. So that's a lesson for you guys. Some of the things you have to look at when you're deciding to do this. Don't get lulled into that sense from these people on the internet who aren't getting any permits, who aren't building anything to code. They're just having friends come over and help them, or they're paying people on the side to work the weekends to build the stuff, or that's really not the right way to do it if you're going to make this your permanent home. That's not really the right way to do it. Get it all set up front before you make that decision. And I'm telling you, every place is like that. There is no place where you can build without any codes. Somebody is overseeing that. Be it the federal government, state government, county government, township government, there's a whole chain of command of people who rule over your land. And that's just a fact of life, whether you like it or not, whether you want to admit to it or not, that's a fact of life. We are not free people in the sense that free people are. We're not that. But anyway, I hope this helps you guys out. I'm sorry I don't get to keep filming my tiny house build, but I will get to build, the cabin and everything. And I'm going to get to do that real rustic looking, like the cabin I've always wanted, and Gail didn't really want me to go that route with our house. So I'll have me a little, like 12 by 16. It'll have a bedroom in it, sitting area, a little cottage type thing. And once we move out there, if I piss off Gail too bad, she kicks me out. At least I'll have something decent to sleep in at night. She can have the trailer. I'll get stuck out in the cabin over there. But hope y'all understand that you gotta research. You gotta get all of your ducks in a row before you spend a penny. Get everything lined out and make sure that you are allowed to do all the things that you want to do. And even though we live in America, you are not allowed to do all the things that you want to do. Thank you all for watching, and stay tuned because I'm still going to be making videos. I'm still going to do my chickens. I got the barn beam license plate project going. I'm not stopping this, and I'm not stopping what I'm doing. I'm just changing plans, and that's what you got to do in life, because things come up and block you, and rather than get mad about it and give up, you just simply look at the obstacle and say, okay, this is what I have to do now, and you move on. You don't get mad. I'm not mad about it. You know, if I was going to be mad about it, in reality, the only person I could be mad at is me, because I didn't do my due diligence like I should have. But I'm recommending to you people, you do it. Don't listen to these people who say you don't have to. Too many people say you don't have to worry about it. Do it. This is Joe. I'm out.